guys, welcome.
Welcome to Philippine Family Life with Leah.
Today we are going to give you 5 ways to become broke in the Philippines. What's funny about it?
We're going to give you 5 ways to become broke in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Think about what you just said there.
5 reasons to become broke in the Philippines.
Okay. You know, yeah, you phrased it like we're going to give you 5 reasons how you can become broke in the Philippines.
Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome to Philippine Family Life with Leah.
Today we're gonna give you 5 reasons why sometimes foreigner or expat become broke or end up broke in the Philippines. So you probably heard already that there are some expat or foreigners actually become broke or end up broke here in the Philippines. And today we're going to give you 5 reasons why they become broke.
Yeah, actually there's been a few YouTube videos with people, homeless people have come here and become broke. So it seems to be quite common that it happens, you know. So
we'll give you common reason why, and maybe you should avoid that.
What I'm excited about with this video is hopefully I will learn how I can prevent going broke.
Don't worry, I will not let that happen to you, honey.
I'm happy to hear that.
So some foreigners only did their research based on social media or YouTube, right? They're watching a lot of YouTube and some bloggers saying that it's cheap to live in the Philippines.
Yeah, you know, especially some of those cheap budget videos we see out there. I mean, you know, kind of, you know, I haven't watched them to be honest with you, but sometimes they, you know, I've seen the titles where they kind of talk about being able to live off like $500 a month or something.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw one that they said you can live like a king here in the Philippines for $800. Live like a king.
$800 a day, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. I don't think how you're gonna live off. Especially if you're gonna pay for your house rent and all that, right? So there's some foreigners that they will base their research on YouTube that they watch, and before their retirement they come here in the Philippines and they have a savings, like they think they can live off with that savings until their retirement. And when they got here, they realize it's not cheap to live in the Philippines, especially if you go through emergency like healthcare or something. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, a lot of people come to the Philippines that are already financially struggling in life, and they come here because they know they can have a much better life on the same amount of money as they're spending in US. No, that is true.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people make the mistake, and maybe because of YouTube, I don't know, of coming here too quickly. Like you said, sometimes they're looking towards retirement. Maybe they've got a social security coming, and they've saved up some money and they've listened to these budget videos and they think, okay, I need to survive 5 years, I can live off this much a month, just got enough to do it, and then they'll come out thinking they can make it last.
Yeah, money goes quickly, especially if you don't have money coming in. That can be a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 1 reason is what exactly?
But they don't budget enough.
Don't budget enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very important.
That's very important, and I agree. We've met people that come out here and they just, well, I wasn't expecting this or that. So definitely, if you're going to come out here hoping to live off savings for a period of time before you receive money, you need to over budget for that.
Yeah, and maybe you can look for a job like online, teaching online. At least you have something coming in, right?
Yeah, if you can get some income coming in, that
option.
always
Yeah.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you get here in the Philippines, you know, you'll be tempted to go there, Boracay, go to Siquijor and this and that. Especially if you like girls, you know, you'll be really tempted and your money will go quickly.
Well, that's and I'm sure this will be on your list.
Yeah,
so
I
I won't jump the gun
Yeah,
here, but okay.
exactly. So, yeah, so another thing is, you know, there are some expat or foreigners that in a middle age or older than that, and then when they're dating a Filipina, they want to please the Filipina. You know, they want to start a relationship with giving money and offering this and that, and then the Filipina that can become unexpected from your Filipina and her family maybe, and then you know your Filipina will take advantage of you, and that can be a problem financial for you.
Is this number 2 on your
Yeah,
list?
that's the
Okay,
number 2.
and what do you title this one?
Walking ATM.
Walking ATM.
Become an walking ATM.
Okay, so number 2 on our list of 5. Don't be a walking ATM.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we get accused of that sometimes. I was accused of that today, actually.
Yeah. On your live stream.
Yeah, and someone referred to, "Fine, you're just walking ATMs," or something.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know what? If you allow it to happen, you can become one, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is why some people go broke.
If you start your relationship, you know, like that can be hard to stop, you know, if you start your relationship giving money to your Filipino. And we've seen that's happening, right?
I've seen, I don't know if you've got your list in order, the ones most likely to make you go broke, but I think being irresponsible with someone you fall in love with is maybe the biggest reasons people
bad
go
decision.
broke. Yeah, and bad decisions for sure. So yeah, definitely you have to be careful of how you spend your money with your girlfriend when you meet one. What other advice do you give on that?
You know, like you don't have to pretend that you've got a lot of money when you're dating. When you introduce yourself to her, be yourself. Like, you know, tell her that you're not rich. If you're rich, it's fine, you know. But if you only have a little, I don't think it's a good idea to pretend that you're rich, because she will expect that and she will love you for what you're giving her. I've mentioned this in my previous vlog that, you know, but if you can just be yourself, be honest to her, and you can offer your, you know, there's a lot of stuff that is valuable as a man than just having lots of money.
Right. And by the way, you said something which is so true. Sometimes people that don't have a lot of money, they don't want to give the impression they're poor. So they kind of almost give the impression they do have more than they have, right? So here's the problem, is if you meet someone that is expecting you to pay for a more expensive lifestyle for them, or give money to the family, whatever. If you meet someone that's more interested in your money, probably not a good idea to do that if you're on a tight budget.
Yeah, exactly. I
you know,
agree
and
with
not the kind of girl you want if they're more interested in money than you.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's plenty of girls out here that would. That's not their first goal.
Yeah.
They're not. Oh, he's a foreigner. He's got money. I want to be with them. Often, and this is one of the misconceptions we get out here of what people think about why Filipinos like foreigners. They think sometimes. Let me say that another way. Sometimes the Filipina is more interested in a foreigner because he will treat them more respectfully and more like a woman, and you know that from experience. You've heard that. Not saying that Filipino men are bad, but I know a lot of Filipino women have had bad experiences with Filipino men.
Maturity.
And they've found that dating a foreigner, that they treat them in a different way that some Filipinos like.
Yeah, maturity. That's the one thing that the Filipina likes about foreigners.
Right, and that's one reason why they're attracted to older foreigners, because the maturity.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there you go. Make your Filipina fall in love with you, and maybe when your relationship gets secured, then that's the time, you know, you can spoil her, buy the things that she deserves if she really loves you. Yeah. So anyways, the number 3 is, this is very common, scam. It depends. There's so many ways to get scam in the Philippines, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
so many ways. Like for example, again, dating a Filipina that is a scammer. There are some cases that Filipina, in that would stole your money or take your passport. There are some cases like that, like first or second meeting, and you go to the hotel, and when you wake up, your stuff is gone, and that happened.
Yeah, there's many ways to be scammed, and sometimes, and not necessarily a scam, I don't think this would count as a scam, but sometimes people get themselves into a situation that might end up costing them a lot of money that they never foresaw coming. And I'll give you an example, because I had this one come up earlier. Someone had mentioned to me they've got a Filipina they're interested in, but he thinks she's married, but probably separated. And for those that don't know, there's no legal divorce in the Philippines. So when a relation or marriage doesn't work out between a Filipino couple, they just separate. But they still have to stay married, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Legally. Now, most cases it might be fine, but if you meet someone who is married and your relationship starts going bad, somebody might think they could take advantage of you in this situation and extort you for some money or threaten you because, and this is true, if you are reported as a foreigner having a relationship with a married woman, you can go to jail.
Yes,
you get arrested, and you could get deported and even blacklisted and not be able to come back to the Philippines. That's kind of the most drastic situation, but it can happen.
It can happen, and there's some game like that.
And they might say, well, you pay me this much money. And so, again, be very careful, not just of scams, but think of things like what I just said, if you meet Filipina, find out, do a bit of due diligence, do a bit of investigation, find out about her past and everything.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because it's very important, and that's a serious thing to do. Dating a Filipina that is married, they can set you up, and can extort you with big money. And there's some other scam as well, like what do you call that? Property, buying property. There's some people, or loaning a property. And that can, scam you, whatever. So be very careful when you come here in the Philippines. If you're not in your country, I think it's very important.
Yeah, and just to finish on that, because you mentioned about the property. You see what can happen sometimes. You might be in a very good relationship, serious relationship even, and maybe they kind of talk you to, maybe we can buy some land or something, or maybe we can buy a property, and you look at your savings and think, it's going to be tough, but you're also thinking of your future, and you think, maybe it's a good investment. But if you buy the property or the land, you can't legally own it.
Yeah.
You can put it in your joint name with your girlfriend, spouse, whatever, but technically she's got control over it, and if you were to break up or whatever, she could, sorry, it's my property, and the money you put in is gone. And then you end up broke. Yeah.
And it's a good point, because there are some expat or foreigners that before they get married, like, they don't think about it first, getting married. They just getting to know, dating like for 4 days, seeing each other, and then they move in together, and then after a few weeks get married.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get to know the Filipina very well, because after you get married with her, she might be a bad Filipina or be a manipulator. How do you call that? Manipulator Filipina, and can push you to buy a property or a land. And once you buy a property that's on her name, she like you're trapped. And that's we've seen that happening here, by the way.
So I guess so the lesson here is, if you come out here on a budget, don't use your savings to purchase anything which you can't technically own by yourself. That would not be a smart idea.
Yeah.
So next one?
Next one would be business. Although in some cases it worked out, but it still depends.
You mean starting a business?
Yeah, starting a business.
People that think they can come to the Philippines.
Yeah.
They're coming here early before their retirement and think, well, I can start a business in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what's some of the issues with that, you think?
Well, if they're gonna have savings money and they're gonna put it in their business, and what if it won't work out? Like, you know, they put all their money in that kind of business, because it can happen. I don't, you know, right? Starting a business in a other country, I don't think it would be like 100% it would work. It would be hard, right?
There's risk involved,
Yeah,
of course.
risky, very risky.
You know, and that's not to say it can't work. I mean, there are foreigners over here that have had successful businesses, but I think you'll find that a lot of them have actually not gone well.
Yeah.
And they end up broke.
Yeah, end up broke. I mean, if you can start your business, make sure that you can still survive if it will not work, right? You still have savings. Because if not, I mean, what will you do? That would be a disaster, right?
Right.
So if you're starting a business also, I think it's very important to think about it, because I think it's a very big decision. You're going to invest a big amount of money. So I think that's a smart thing to do, to think about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last, the number 5, the healthcare. Well, although it's cheaper, the healthcare in the Philippines is cheaper compared in, you know, in your country.
Yes.
But if you are a foreigner, in some most cases they charge you more. Do you feel that, right?
Yeah, they do.
Although you can check out.
Okay, even on this on a smaller scale, but I know this for sure. It's happened, and I know because you find out. But doctor's visits, you go to see a doctor. They all pretty much charge about the same for a doctor's visit. You go there, see it, and normally it's around 500 pesos. Now, not so much in Dumaguete it's happened, but I know when I was in Cebu, and they see a foreigner coming, suddenly the fee to consult the doctor is 1,000 pesos or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and the Philippines is paying 500 pesos. So that's one example where they'll, you know, see an opportunity to charge. And I actually think some cases, because the receptionist that's outside there sometimes, and some of them I've met seem a little bit flaky, but anyway, and I'm sure they're probably saying 1,000, they pocket 500 and just tell you know.
Yeah, we never know. But
I don't know that. I can't say, but I do know that the foreigners will get charged
more. That's why we call it foreigner price.
Yeah.
Right? We call that. Even going to the market, sometimes they charge you more. But it's same thing in, you know, in a hospital, healthcare. Yeah, they will literally charge you more because you are a foreigner.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So if you're going to come out here, and again, I think we're mostly addressing people that come out here on a limited budget. Because if you're wealthy, you're not going to want to go broke, are you? But if you're coming out here on a limited budget, trying to stretch it out to retirement, or you're just coming out here and you're not earning a lot of money, you don't have much savings, okay? These points you're bringing up are so important to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And the healthcare one is important because a lot of people don't budget for healthcare.
Yes.
Maybe you come out here, you're in good health or whatever, you don't anticipate, but what if you do have an emergency or a problem?
Yeah, like you had an accident with a motorbike, you need a surgery or something.
Like it's happened to a few people we know recently.
Yes, it happened, yeah.
Yeah, and then you know, so although, as you said, healthcare is much cheaper here, it's not like ridiculously, it still can cost a bit of money.
Yeah, it still depends. So it's very important to save up for your health care.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it can be a good thing, the healthcare. I know a good story of an expat I just got today, actually, that it's very happy with the healthcare and the price and everything he paid. But just another thing you have to be careful of, though. Things aren't always as cheap as you think they'll be. You know, you come out here and you said have a little motorcycle accident, need a bit of surgery or something. Suddenly you're paid 400,000 or 500,000 pesos. And you're like, you know, and if you're on a limited budget, that could be devastating.
Yeah, and I heard a story like that was the past 2 years, I guess, when you get like the friends of a foreigner helping each other to save money for his health because he had a health problem. I remember that was a couple of years ago. Yeah, so imagine that you need a charity for your health, and that's crazy. So you know, it's very important to be prepared for this important stuff.
If you can get health insurance from your country or whatever, you know, and I don't have health insurance. One of my concerns, and I do have health insurance in America, so could always fly back there, I guess. But
would you recommend getting an insurance here in the Philippines?
I don't know. There are some insurance plans, I think. Maybe I should look into it, but for emergency, I don't recommend PhilHealth.
I had that useless one. Yeah, the only take a very little unless you go to the public.
No,
they don't take it.
Yeah, you might as well book your funeral when you're going to go there.
That's exaggerating, but yeah, I'd rather take taking herbal than going there. We had a very terrifying experience in a public hospital.
You don't want the public hospitals, awful.
Yeah, well, it is free now. So
well, that's exactly.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you get what you pay for.
You get what you don't pay for. Yeah. No, you would definitely have to out here go to private care.
Yeah.
Private hospital and things like Phil Health. They'll only pay a small portion of that anyway, right? And then you have to pay quite a bit per year for that insurance.
Yeah.
It's not much good.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So, there you go. I'm sure there are more. We can list a bunch of this, about reason why expat or foreigner end up broke in the Philippines. Even if you have experience, if you know a story, you can share that in the comment section. Would be glad to read your comments, So that's it for today's video.
Yes, good information.
Yeah.
Doing this video because we don't want people to come out here and suffer and go broke, because you see it's a terrible thing.
Yeah,
terrible thing to happen.
Yeah.
And we just hope this will help anybody thinking of coming here on a limited budget. Make them think about a few things.
Yeah. So thank you for watching till the end, and we'll see you in our next video.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.